I like the way the waterfall looked when I was standing there. I'm a little less sure about the photograph that I brought home. This is the original raw file, and it's pretty flat. The water's there, the composition is there, but the image doesn't really have much depth yet. So in this video, I want to take you from the original file to the finished photograph, step by step in Lightroom, and I'll show you what I change, what I leave alone, and why. No preset, no one click, just a complete edit from start to finish. So this is a photo I took out at the New River Gorge where I was doing the Thermont video. This is called, I believe, Sandstone Falls. It's a place that I quick pulled over to and got a couple quick shots. What I want to do today is I want to take you through my whole editing process. Alright, so the first thing about this photo is it's ISO 100. It's about 47 millimeters. It's f11 and it's 1/8 of a second. And this was at Sandstone Falls in the New River Gorge. So we're going to start off with the first thing I want to do with this crop. So right into the crop panel, I'm going to just tighten the whole crop up just a little bit. I do like this water down here on the lower left hand corner, and I like the way some of this top looks here. Just going to pull it in a little bit. Now the first thing you'll notice, there's actually some people sitting up here. We're gonna take them out quick with AI. So I'm just gonna go in here and use AI remove in Lightroom, and we're just gonna subtract them out. And I know that's cheating, and a lot of people are gonna say that's cheating. So right off the bat, I don't have to do that much lens corrections on this inside of Lightroom because I shot it with the GFX. The lens is pretty good. But I do want to do some basic stuff to it, basic correction stuff right off the bat. So totally flat over here. Now, this is where you can cheat. If you went up here to auto, you can just hit auto, and yeah, it brightens it all up. And, you know, it really kills the waterfall. The waterfall is overly bright and everything like that. I'm not going to do that. I like to keep these shots kind of moody. I want to highlight the stuff that's going on in the background of the image, but I also want to make sure I have the waterfalls in. So I'm going to do some very basic corrections right now. It's going to be primarily exposure, highlights, shadows, some basic color correction, maybe some S-curves on it, texture clarity, maybe luminance range masking. We're going to run through the whole process. So one of the things I like to do right off the bat when I'm doing any kind of shot is just initially come in and just mess around with the global settings first. So I'm just going to open it up a little bit, just give it a little bit of exposure, and I'm going to pull the highlights down because what I don't want to do is I don't want to blow my area right here in the middle out by raising up the highlights. So I'm going to pull the highlights down a little bit. Shadows, I'm just going to open the shadows up a little bit. Not too much, because when you open them up too much, it gets really fake looking, especially down here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to open them up just a little bit. I'm not too concerned about the whites right now. I can open them up, but if you open them up too much, you run into this issue, like I said, where it blows it out. So I'm just going to open the whites just a little bit. And blacks, I'm going to leave blacks kind of where they're at. Right now it looks pretty good. However, there's still a lot we can do to it. So I'm going to come up here to exposure. I'm just going to open it up a little bit more. And I feel like the white balance is kind of okay, but I'm just going to experiment a little bit with the white balance. So I'm just going to warm the shot up a little bit. Well, obviously that's way too warm. So we're going to come back here. And I want to make sure that the white in here is actually white. So I can actually come in here with the white balance picker and pick it. If I want, I'm actually going to go a little bit cooler like that. So the crop. So I cropped it before, but now I'm really starting to feel like I don't like this crop. So I'm going to go to a 2x3. If you know me, you know I shoot a lot of 2x3. So I'm going to switch this to a 2x3 crop. So that feels pretty good. So we went through some exposure already. We went through some highlights already. This is kind of where we're at with the whole thing. So if you look at over here and you look at the histogram, you'll notice that it's still pretty dark on the histogram. We're going to fix a lot of this, but I want the shot to be moody. I don't want it to be like overexposed and the water to lose all of its clarity and everything like that. So we're gonna, work with it in this kind of, diminished aspect, and then I'm gonna add some lighting to it after the fact. Clarity, for a lot of people, they want to crank that clarity up right away, and when they do that, it just gets this ugly kind of look, this like overly processed look. I kind of stay away from clarity now as much as possible. Like, I may bump it just a little bit, like I'll do like +2, and for texture we'll make that 0. So for vibrance and saturation, we're going to come back later. We're actually going to hit some global adjustments after the fact. This is kind of where we're at right now, and this is the earlier version that I put together, and you could see I don't like that yellow right there. I take that out a little bit. There's still a lot I want to do here. So one of the things I want to do right off the bat is I want to lighten up all these rocks in here, but I don't want to mess with the waterfall all that much. So first thing I'm going to do is come up here to the masks, and I'm just going to grab a brush, and I'm just going to lightly brush in here, very lightly. Mask settings 21, 100, 50, 100. Just very lightly brush in here. And then I'm simply just going to come down here, and I'm going to increase the highlights a little bit on the mask, and I'm going to increase the exposure just a little bit. I like there's a little pocket of light here. I'm going to do that here. I'm going to do the same thing up here in the back of the shot. I'm just going to increase just a little bit in here. Not too much. If you do it too much, then everything starts to look really, false. So it's all about making these adjustments, but making like very minor adjustments. If you go crazy with all the adjustments, the whole image is going to go to mud, and it's going to look very processed. So one of the other things I want to do is I want to add some more effect to this water. I want to add some more drama. So we're going to create a new mask, linear gradient, and I'm just going to come right in here, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn the exposure down just a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of contrast right in there, and then I want to come down here to clarity, and I just want to pump a little bit of clarity in. So that's no clarity, and this is with more clarity. Now, like I said before, if you pump too much clarity in it, you can really see it over here. It brings out a lot of the details. It just starts to look too processed. But I'm just going to pump a little bit of clarity into the bottom of the frame. I'm going to do another mask, brush, and I'm just want to brush this area here, and I just want to brush this area, and I just want to pull these up a little bit more. Now, it's okay in Lightroom to have like multiple masks on top of each other and stuff like that. That's not a problem. So, a couple other things. This is lichen here on the rock. I'm not really a fan of that. So, I'm going to use generative fill, and I'm just going to take it out. And I know people are going to kill me for this because you're like, it's cheating. But if you got the tools, use it. So same thing over here. I'm just going to get this area where it's got like this weird yellow kind of rock in the way. Generative remove that stuff. Okay, that's a little better. This was a big distraction for me up here. I think this looks pretty good now. I mean, you really can't tell the difference. I think it's fine. Same thing here. Let's take that little rock out right there. Yeah, that's better. I think using AI or using generative fill is actually okay if you're removing like little distractions in the photos, unless it's like pure documentary or editorial or something like that. I know a lot of people don't do that, but I feel like it's okay if you're removing little distractions. If you take it to the level where you're changing around the whole concept of the photo, especially if you're doing like editorial or something like that, maybe that's a problem. So what I want to do now is I'm just going to do a little bit of work down in vibrance and saturation. So here's the deal. A lot of people just crank up the saturation right away, and you can see, like, especially up here in the greens, it's not really how it was captured. It just looks too fake. I would prefer to use vibrance instead of saturation, and if you crank it up too much, you see you get all this blue tone and all this like over-processed kind of crappy look here. So like I said, I just like to pull it in a little bit. That's basically what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna pull a little bit in. There's one area that's still bothering me, and that's this area right here is really dark. So like I said, we're gonna go back to masking. We're just gonna hit a brush, and I'm just gonna come in here ever so slightly, one click, couple drags, and we're just gonna pull the shadows up there a little bit. I'm gonna leave the exposure where it was, and I'm just gonna pull the shadows up just to give it a little more information. I'm probably gonna do the same thing right here. So yeah, so just a little bit of shadow rays here, a little bit of shadow rays down here, a little bit of shadows here. Nothing overly, difficult. I'm just basically doing that because I want to add some depth to the rocks around it. When you're shooting an exposure like this and you're in the forest, these rocks are going to pretty much register as black, so you really need to pull them up afterwards. So I think the last component, to remember is really important, and that's just going to be clarity. Like I said, if you do too much clarity, it looks weird. If you go less clarity, it looks kind of ethereal and dreamlike. I tend to leave this setting alone. If I need more clarity in an area or sharpness, I'll simply just take a mask and I'll just add sharpness to that area through a mask versus actually doing it. So the last thing I'm probably going to do to this image is going to be real simple, and that's probably just going to be a vignette on it. So a lot of people don't like this for their stuff. It's kind of my style. So I'll put a really, really minor vignette on it. It's not going to be all that much. So here's the original shot on the left, and here's my finished shot on the right. So let's just talk about a couple things that we did. So the first thing we did is we just did a general crop on it. We did some lens corrections, which I didn't really need to do much of that. We did a little bit of a white balance push, exposure, shadows, highlights, point curve and S curve like we've done in the past, global texture and clarity. I didn't use any clarity. Luminance range masking, we did a lot of masking. We dropped the masking at the bottom. We did some spot masking around the rocks. Color grading, we did a minor color grade on it. And remember, like when you're using color grading, stay away from saturation. Try to work with vibrance. And we just did a really cleanup and an export, and that's basically it. So I did remove some stuff with AI. If you remember, I removed some stuff over here, some stuff down here. That stuff has been cleaned up and removed. These two people that were up here, I removed them too. I did crop the image down a little bit more. Really basic, really clean, simple, easy way of doing this. So here's another example of another area. So these are the people I took out, which looks pretty good. If we come over here to the waterfall, you can really see the difference back here in these trees. And the waterfall itself, I took a lot of those highlights out. And then over in this area, you can see I took this rock out here and this little pile of stuff that was there. Real simple edit, took me about 5 minutes to do. And that's kind of what it's about. Now, if you really wanted to, you could get down and dirty on this and you could spend hours, really going through here and tweaking stuff. But for me, it's a strong image to start with right out of the camera. I shot it dark on purpose because I wanted to preserve those highlights in that waterfall, and that was a big thing for me. So if you could get it right in camera when it comes to waterfall photography, especially these highlights, if you blow these highlights out, you're going to have a really hard time recovering that shot. So you want to shoot this a few stops under on purpose, so you save those highlights. And I know with my GFX that I can actually recover a lot of that shadow detail. So here's the final image, and it isn't better because I threw a bunch of Lightroom tools at it. It's better because every tool in Lightroom is working towards one decision: pulling your eye to the center waterfall while keeping the rest of the scene believable. So do me a favor, if you like this video, subscribe. I got a new video coming out every week. And if you got some editing questions, drop them below in the comment line. I like to read every one. Thanks for watching.